Welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition on JDZ Gaming Empire. Let us continue speaking with the vendors around here. We need to go see the smith and the apothecary. And we also need to visit with Cassandra and Cullen. Special shipments. We have received special shipments already, so I don't know why that's still flashing. I think what I like to do is go down and speak with Cullen and Cassandra and then head back up this way so I could end with speaking to Solus, our future husband. So I think that's what I'll do. Let's go put a marker over here. Okay, put a marker, thank you. And then we'll head back up that way. See ya, secret. We could start with Cullen, that's fine.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
That wasn't my idea.
I'd be concerned if it was. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
Yeah, everything's a mess.
The Conclave destroyed a giant hole in the sky. Things aren't looking good.
Which is why we're needed. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
No, but if you have one prepared, I'd love to hear it.
Another time, perhaps. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Ryden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying.
A little flirting won't hurt. Won't hurt a thing. Can we talk to him again? Oh, we moved over here. Oh, there's some loot. Oh yeah, take all of that. We'll look at inventory in a minute. Anything else, Cullen?
Yes.
Okay, nothing else. Oh yeah, we got a lot to ask.
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't offer more than you already know. Anything else, I will answer as best I can.
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars as our local Chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
Wow, that is kind of young.
13. That's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
Do the Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
What do you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession, at least.
Well, that's good to hear. It's just not completely against mages.
You've lived in the Circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
Do Templars and mages never speak to each other?
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy your training?
To learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the Chant of Transfigurations wasn't the most exciting task. I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages. That sort of thing.
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of lyrium, and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
A life of service and sacrifice. Are Templars also expected to give up physical temptations?
Physical? Why would you? Not expected. Templars can marry, although there are rules around it, and the Order must grant permission. Some may choose to give up more to prove their devotion, but it's not required.
Okay, I'm not gonna flirt with him anymore.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Wait a minute, we're not done.
Yes?
I should get to know you better. We are working together after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
How to act for Reldon. My esteemed Lady Sidonia. I'd like to take full responsibility for Lady Marchelette's odd behavior of late. You see, we recently began the study of history. I thought that it would do the young mistress some good to be exposed to all that Dosian cultures and not just Orlais. It was a foolish thought. Regrettably, your dear daughter has taken a particular interest in Ferelden folklore. She first developed an affinity for King Galahad, which seems to have devolved into borderline infatuation. She stared at me, eyes wide, when I told how he unified the barbarians with his allegedly incomparable might and charisma. Every time I tried to move the lesson on to something more important, she insisted I tell her again about Galahad, how the Ferelden say his hair was twice as yellow as the sun, and his chin more chiseled than the tallest peak in the Frostbacks. Twice now, I've had to tear down drawings she's tacked up in her bedroom of the man shirtless. Then we moved on to the werewolves, which was even worse. As you may already know, the Fereldans venerate the folk heroes Dane and Hafner. Dane was said to have been a werewolf, and Hafner to have descended from one. No enlightened man or woman could ever view such beast people with anything but revulsion. But you know, Fereldans and their love of wildlife. Unfortunately, these tales of the wolfmen set the little mistress's imagination afire. When she suggested we put on a play for you and her lord father, I could not say no. I'm afraid that's why Marchalette was running through the mansion, wearing wet furs and frightening the chambermaids. She was rehearsing a scene in which Hafter drives back the Darkspawn. I've been informed that some priceless family heirlooms were destroyed amidst all that confusion, and I cannot fully express my dismay. I understand if my abject failure as a tutor results in my immediate dismissal. A letter from Brother Bernard to his former employer.
I grew up in Ferelden near Honley. I was transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the Blight. This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
I'm like, what does that have to do with Colin?
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between mages and Templars fell apart. An apostate blew up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
Anders, Meredith.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order. The Red Lyrium had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently, I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
Few who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I prefer not to speak of it.
Okay.
I'll let you return to your work.
No, we're not.
If you require anything, I'll be here.
Nope, we're not done.
Did you need something?
Why would Templars break away from the Chantry?
The Order believes the Chantry no longer supports their efforts. Not to the extent they should.
But the Templars have served the Chantry for ages.
And in that time, they've come to take the Order's services for granted. Templars risk their lives against blood magic, demons, abominations, to feel as if those efforts are dismissed. I may disagree with the Order's actions, but I'm here as proof of that. I sympathize with their frustrations.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
What do you think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
How do you like working with Leliana?
The Inquisition would not exist without her. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than anyone. Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, but Leliana is just as responsible for its formation.
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our numbers are small, but they suit our needs for the time being. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable in training new recruits.
Okay.
I should let you get back to work.
Believe that is it. Where is Cassandra? Oh, right here she is. Oh, there's some loot. Oh, let's go grab this loot real quick before we go speak with her.
See reason, listen. We cannot stay
Oh,
here.
a bow. Let's check that real quick. Nope, not as good. Okay. And I see some loot over
What
here.
does that even mean anymore?
Uh-oh.
That we splinter and fight amongst ourselves instead of protecting the mages?
Better that than stay here with this Inquisition.
Hey,
You're awfully quick to dismiss the people who saved your life.
that's right. You tell him. Give him the what for, Lizette.
You're the one they're calling the Herald.
Yes.
It rather rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
No. I did not join the Order to adjust my faith so easily. But I appreciate what the Inquisition is trying to do, and your role in it. Though you may find not many Templars do. We're a distrustful lot by nature.
Really? Oh, okay. We can ask her a bunch of things.
I'd like your take on the Templar Order.
It's a shadow of what it was. Where once we both protected all people from the dangers of magic, we now posture and grab at power. One day, I hope the circles are again sanctuaries where mages can practice their craft.
You're not going to rejoin the Order?
When the temple went up, your forces rescued those few of us still alive. My life is a debt I intend to repay, however I can.
Do you have any idea what caused the explosion?
No, I'm just a recruit. Belief and faith doesn't get you closer to the important meetings. Though that distance did save my life.
How did you come to be a Templar?
It seemed the right thing to do. My family are tradesfolk in Denerim. I could have become a cobbler like my father, but this seemed better. It's a chance to uphold the Chantry's laws and help the mages through a troubled time.
Ooh, oh.
Not every Templar feels that way.
I know. Power can corrupt. It's a delicate balance. One person trying to do something can make a difference. You should keep that in mind, Harold.
I will talk to you later.
Okay.
Walk in the Maker's grace.
Thank you very much. Ring of critical damage. Alright. I'm going to try to avoid looking at the inventory until we're ready to actually go out and equip everybody. Oh. Okay, I'll leave that elf root over there for now. Let's go speak with Cassandra.
Ugh.
You're kind of a force of nature, aren't you?
When I need to be.
It's impressive.
You flatter me.
I'm trying.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
What does your faith tell you?
I believe you are innocent. I believe more is going on here than we can see. And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain that it is hot. But is this the Maker's will? I can only guess.
What's going to happen now?
Now, we deal with the Chantry's panic over you before they do even more harm. Then we close the breach. We are the only ones who can. After that, we find out who is responsible for this chaos, and we end them. And if there are consequences to be paid for what I have done, I pay them. I only pray the price is not too high.
You didn't have any choice.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail.
Ha! I know that's right.
But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone. I'm curious. Do you even believe in the Maker?
I can't really say.
I suppose it doesn't matter now. I have to believe we were put on this path for a reason, even if you do not. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us.
Well, surely we're not done talking to you. We are not done talking with you.
It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
No, we're gonna be honest.
My clan never stayed in one place for long, though we primarily roamed the free marches.
Oh? I didn't think your people roamed that far north, but clearly I'm mistaken. I'm told some members of your clan might still be alive. Do you intend to go back?
Wherever I am, it is home enough for me.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
Oh, we get to ask her some questions about herself now. She really, I guess we're giving her all the right answers.
May I ask you about the Chantry?
It is difficult to say what becomes of the Chantry now. They have no Templars, no leadership, and no one left who is worthy of succeeding the Divine. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ache to think what this will mean in the days to come.
Yeah, let's ask about this jackass.
What influence does Chancellor Roderick really wield?
He's a bureaucrat, responsible for communicating the Divine's will to the rest of the Chantry. Therefore, he's accustomed to the clerics hanging on his every word, hoping his influence will benefit them. Despite that, Roderick is not a bad man. He's frightened, and believes his place is to fill the gap left by Most Holy's death. Some might agree. As far down the chain of command as he is, there is no one left above him.
Oh, wow.
I'm surprised you rebelled against the Chantry.
I left my own order when they took the wrong path. It is no different. But in neither case did I stop caring. Indeed, I care so much that I feel drastic action is necessary. I suppose history shall one day judge my actions.
Will the Chantry replace Divine Justinia?
They will try. Once the priests withdraw for the Grand Consensus, it is against Chantry law for them to emerge without naming a new Divine. Sometimes it takes days, or weeks, or even months. The problem now is that no clear successor to Justinia exists. All worthy clerics died with her at the Conclave.
So what happens if they can't agree on someone?
Theoretically, they will argue until exhaustion takes them or they see reason. Practically, however, if the Grand Consensus goes on too long, the Chantry will crumble. Any cleric with ambition but little sense will see this as her one chance, and plenty of such clerics exist. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act in the meantime.
If they do choose a new Divine, will you serve her?
That depends on whether she would have me. I am a rebel now, remember? And even if she would, I do not know. It would depend on what type of Divine she is. I am no longer in a position to follow blindly, and no new divine could expect such obedience now.
Thank you.
Anything else before we
Greetings.
leave? Yes, let's ask about the Seekers.
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
But what are Seekers exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
So nobody ever watched over the Seekers?
It was the Divine's duty. But she could only do so much when the truth was hidden from her. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Sounds like what we have to go through to become a Grey Warden. Except failure is not the end. Death is the end.
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
She said a full year of fasting. How do you fast for a full year? I guess it depends on what kind of fasting you're doing, but gee whiz. When I think of fasting, I'm thinking you're not eating anything.
I wish I could experience that.
If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons? I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes...
You seem to care a great deal about it.
Too much, if you ask the rest of my order. When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful, considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
Okay.
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
Wow.
I've no more questions.
Yep, one more. We gotta ask about
Do
her
you need
past.
something?
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
No motivation beyond making things between us less...
Antagonistic?
Exactly.
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentegast, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lady.
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentegasts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentegasts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
And you joined the Seekers to get away from that?
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentegasts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you were the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
But what does a right hand do, exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You thought she could really change things?
Justinia knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
So, what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
I'm sure you're just being modest.
I was there. I think I know what happened. To hear others tell it, I alone saved divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart, and there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral, but I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and most holy's gratitude. Many of them died at the conclave.
I think you're a hero, no matter how you downplay it.
Fine. But it was 20 years ago. I will not rest upon my laurels.
Okay, I think this is it.
You don't seem to like your homeland much.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus, I did not see Nevarra, the real Nevarra, until much later. By then, I realized I knew it not at all.
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Oh.
Your uncle was a mortalitasi?
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Nevarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
Oh, wow.
I'll let you get back to work.
So she's got a mage in the family, her uncle. Lots of codex entries unlocked there. Let's pick us up some iron.
If the Inquisition wants to field a decent cavalry, it needs better horses. I heard Seeker Pendergast might try to acquire suitable mounts from Master Dennett in the hinterlands.
Oh, and who are you to be fishing around for what the higher-ups are doing?
Back in Angsburg, my uncle was 5th Praetor.
And what's that mean for you back in Arnsberg?
Honestly, about as much as it does here.
We have a golden nug here. Now we know that Liliana loves her nugs. Synchronize collectibles. This will synchronize your collectibles across games by downloading collectibles that you previously uploaded and uploading newly acquired ones. Would you like to synchronize them now? No, because I'm not playing across anything. Just playing here on the PC. Alright, let's
Sister
see.
thought you and your men might be working up a thirst. She sent me over to see if you needed anything.
We're fine, thank you.
Speak with Herod.
Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet, and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
It doesn't really matter in the long run.
Of course it does. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work, something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
Okay, really? Let's hear his background.
How did you come to be here?
Come from a little town called Lothran. Long gone now.
Yes.
I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight. Helped rebuild. Left when royalty decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Ended up here. Just missed the boom. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
You're still walking. That's always good.
True enough.
Who outfits the Inquisition soldiers?
Not me. I've got work to do. Can't be passing a sword to every blighter who signs up. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster.
Okay.
She'll set up requisitions.
Yes, yes, she would.
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing traders to haul up here. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
I think that was it. No. Let's ask this.
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work irons a blighted dragon bone, if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done. You want something fancy, bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Can you help improve my arms and armor?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greaves, we'll take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Right.
Alright, so have some armor made. He said there's some supplies around here. Okay, take all that. Let's bring this journal quest up. We're gonna craft some armor. That's modifying the weapons. What's in here? That's crafting weapons. Craft armor. Crafting. To craft new armor or weapons, you need a schematic and enough materials. The schematic determines the appearance and potential power of the crafted item. The materials determine the specific stats and powers that will be added to the new item. Ooh, I'm trying to remember this here. So we have one that will determine the appearance. The schematic determines the appearance, and the materials provide the stats and powers. Okay. I think they wanted us to do this, right? Crafting. Each crafting schematic has one or more slots. Each slot accepts a specific number of materials of either metal, cloth, or leather. Fill all available slots to craft an item. There are 5 different types of crafting slots: utility, offense, defense, damage, and armor. The type of slot determines the stat that will be generated from the material placed in it. For example, placing iron in a defense slot gives a bonus to melee defense, while putting it in the utility slot gives a bonus to strength. Experiment with different combinations of materials and slots to create unique items that fit your needs. Each crafting material has a predetermined stat that value for each possible slot type, which you can view by examining the material. The final value of the stat coming from a slot is determined by multiplying this value by the number of materials placed in the slot. You are throwing a lot of information at me right now. Yes, you are. Okay, so Bronto hide. Oh, we need 7. So we only have 3, but that would give us an armor rating of 67. Okay, so let's look at what we do have. Okay, all these. Okay, I see the slots down there in the bottom left saying what it will do. So this is a low armor rating. Probably all this stuff is low armor. It is. This will give us a +1 to dexterity, +1 critical chance, and +2.5% cold damage resistance. And then the nug will give us +1 to cunning, +2% critical damage, and +1 range defense. Just like that. Okay. And then let's see what's here. Okay. Can we have both? So we have the buffalo hide down there and the nug skin up here. So we're gonna get plus 10% cold resistance. What happens if we swap these? Plus 4% range defense. I think I'd rather go with that. Let's craft it. You've crafted Deflecting Scout Coat. I'm not going to worry about renaming it. Alright. That is done. Let's take a look at it. It's actually better than what we have on. Well, that didn't last long, did it? The scout coat. All right, ring of critical damage. %. It's a plus 5%. Let's put that on. I wish there was a way we could mark these as all red at once. All right, what's next? Modify some armor, okay? Oops. Not much action right now because, you know, we're in Haven. We got to talk with everybody. We got to see what all is available. Okay, that's modifying the weapons. Where's modifying the armor? Right here. Okay, modification. Upgrading an item adds the upgrade stats to the item's stats in addition to changing its appearance. For example, attaching a hilt with a +3 cunning bonus to a sword adds this bonus to the sword. You could freely remove and add existing upgrades or exchange them between different items. New upgrades can be crafted in crafting stations. Okay, we have this on. Let's see if there's anything that we can put on here. Yep, we can put some arms on it. Scout coat arms, which gives us a +3 range defense. So now our range defense is up to 7. And that is all we have. Okay.
Looks fine.
Okie dokie. Do we have anything here we need to probably sell? The Tactician's Renewal. What is that? This single-use amulet lets the bearer clear her mind and reapply the benefits of combat knowledge for maximum tactical flexibility. Crafted by a Famari Tranquil who, despite recent events, remained open to commissions by the influential, although at increasing rarity costs. So the first time we do this, we can respec for only 1 coin. And next time, it's going to cost us. Yes, thank you very much, because that was not available in Dragon Age 2 unless you went to, unless you had the DLC for the Black Emporium. Alright, I don't think there's anything in here I need to sell quite yet. Oh, that bow, I guess. Yeah, we could sell that. And I'm sure we could sell this sword. I mean, the shield. Yeah, let's sell that. And longsword. And that. Let's go to Solus. Okay, we are going to put this staff on Solus. Let's... Can we do that from here? Nope, not that. Here. Yes, we can. Oh, he's got to be level 7. Okay. No worries. I guess now we've done that. We'll speak with the apothecary, and then we'll speak with Solus. Anything back this way? Hey, there's a little nug. Anything down here? Hey, I'm not gonna hurt you. Fruit. Now, I know we came across a bridge that broke Cassandra and I, and I'll have to figure out where that is. Ooh, I remember this area. This is where we're either gonna fight the Templars or the mages. That is a rough battle. I'm looking forward to that. Is this it? Is this the bridge that broke? Oh, we're gonna find out. Ooh, there's lots of stuff over here. I can't get that iron? Now I know it said there was some iron there. What is happening? Oh, that was weird. I think I've seen that happen before. Anything down this way? What's this? Oh, something we could read. The Penitence Crossing. Pilgrims seeking to visit the Temple of Sacred Ashes are allowed to ride as far as the bridge known as the Penitence Crossing. Then, whether they be sick or healthy, young or aged, the pilgrims are expected to walk by the temple sisters who supervise the bridge. All but the very sick and old are asked to shed heavy coats as they cross the bridge, allowing the cutting winds to strip prideful fixation upon the world from the flesh. The bridge is also of significant military value, used especially for these purposes in the years since the Fifth Blight. As a choke point against bandits, rebels, or even darkspawn stragglers, the bridge serves as a defensible fortification to protect the Temple of Sacred Ashes from threats. From Walking the Chant by Sister Dorcas Wurin. Okay, that was cool. What's this loot? Summerstone. Oh, there's loot down there too. Yeah, I think that was the loot that we saw. We can't go through there. All right, let's head on back. But that bridge isn't broken, so I'm not sure if that's the bridge or not. Okay, we can't go that way, so we have to go back through the gate.
Come on, you've seen our mounts. Most of them should be
Filled
fully
with
formed.
silence. I knew that.
organize this area too. There's going to be a battle take place here as well.
Not laying siege to anything. That's an excellent point, Richard. If someone comes to lay siege to us, perhaps it would be best for us to have some means to fight back.
Siege equipment in Thetis. Siege weaponry has been used in Thetis for centuries. Primitive equipment used as far back as the Third Light. Nevertheless, it occupies a peculiar niche in the tools of warfare due to its requirements. Any army wishing to produce trebuchets or catapults must be funded and organized well enough to procure both the necessary materials and the military experts to construct them. Throughout history, most armies who fulfilled such requirements did not take advantage of the situation. During the Third Light, for example, our legions and Montmard constructed catapults to fling flaming debris at the Darkspawn, but the expense of the weapons did not justify the limited damage they caused, and the Darkspawn were ultimately driven back by the Grey Wardens, not siege weaponry. The Vendor forces similarly had the resources to construct siege weapons when attacking the free marches or defending themselves against the exalted marches of the Black Age. Instead, the Imperium focused primarily upon the power of the Magisters, who were less powerful but more flexible than siege equipment and who could more easily fall back when the tide of the battle turned. As a result, in the battles against the Qunari in the Still Age, generals found to their chagrin that the great Oxman had left them behind. Qunari black powder is, most military experts agree, not magic. It is merely an advanced alchemy that makes their cannons more effective than any other trebuchet could ever be. Nevertheless, there remains hope, as centuries have passed since the last blight, and mages are now safely held in circles where they harm none. The experts of Ferelden and Relay may once again turn their great minds to learning. We need no magic, not where the minds of men survive unfettered. With our resources and our commitment to knowledge, we can easily surpass the brutal Qunari on the field of battle. From Kuhn, Gurns, and Steel, Military Conflict in a Post-Blight Thetis, written 929 Dragon, shortly before the start of the 5th Blight.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Anything else here? Says there's a lot more stuff around here. I certainly don't see it. Oh. Scout armor schematic. Okay, more reading. Construction orders. As you know from the terrible accidents of last week, many passages through the mountain are unstable and liable to collapse at any moment. I do not wish us to lose more brothers and sisters in the search for lost cultist treasure. We must seal all entrances into the mountain. The Templars have done a careful sweep of the caves. Everything of worth was collected. What remains of the disciples of Andraste will be forgotten, buried in the earth. Once it is done, let us have no more talk of them. This is a new haven, restored to life by the true chantry and most holy Justinia V, Mother Florentine. All right. It's back here. Nothing? Okay, the apothecary is up here. Along with Solus, we're not going to speak with him yet. Oh, what's in here? The Randy Dowager Quarterly. Okay. All right, not going to read that one. Don't know. It didn't seem like it was related to what we have going on. Maybe just a story. Alright, let's apothecary. Find recipes through exploration or by visiting merchants. Visit an apothecary with herbs you gather in the wilderness to upgrade potions. Use the equip station to assign different potions to each of your party members and to replenish the potions you are carrying. Use the upgrade station to unlock permanent upgrades to your potions. So this is fruit. Okay, I guess. Can that not be open? Yes, let's go in here. Whose place is this? This is nice. Oh wait, is this? No, this was not where I was at. We'll be back, so we shall return. There's some elf food around here. Alright, we're gonna go in the door. And before we speak with Aiden, we're gonna end the episode right here. So when we come back, we will speak with him, and then we'll go talk with Solus, and then hopefully we can finally get out into the environment and take on some baddies. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, though it was mostly just kind of background on what's happening with our characters, our companions, I should say, and some of the lore of Dragon Age Origins. Anyways, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. And if you've enjoyed this episode and this playthrough so far, please don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons. It's free to do so. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.